If news headlines are making you nervous right now, let me just reassure you, you are not alone. I got a call this morning from my niece because last night there was a significant political event that caused worldwide news outlets to talk about all of the things that could go wrong. My niece called me for reassurance. She called me at 9 o'clock this morning and said, "Hey, do I need to be worried about what just happened last night? Like, is this normal? Are we going to be okay?" And I'm going to tell you the same thing I told her. Yes, we are all going to be okay. We just need to pay attention to the things that are going on around us. We need to take personal responsibility for our own households, and we need to take deliberate actions to be prepared for the unexpected. Because if news headlines have taught us anything, it is that sometimes the unexpected things happen and we have to be ready to respond to them. The good news is that prepping gives us an outlet for that anxiousness. It allows us to respond to these news headlines in a way that is proactive rather than reactive, in a way that gives us a sense of security. But I do want to share 6 reasons today why I believe we should still be preparing in 2026. Welcome back to Preparedness, where we talk about all things prepping, emergency preparedness, and self-sufficiency. I am Laura. I am so glad you're here today because I want to dive into 6 reasons that I think it still makes sense to prep even in 2026. I think there are a lot of uncertainties out there, and just being aware of them allows us to make thoughtful choices about how we want to prepare ourselves and our families to respond to emergency situations. The first reason I think that we should all still be prepping is really what the news showed us this morning. It is that unexpected global events can create drama and tension in our country, regardless of where you live. Significant political events always cause uncertainty. They always cause stress. And with that, we can see fluctuations in market prices, changes in gas prices. We can see supply shortages depending on what is going on. And that global instability isn't honestly likely to really change in the next year. We know that things happen. We know that there is kind of this consistent thing. I wish it wasn't true, but 20 plus years in the military taught me that if anything is consistent, it is that there are always going to be things going on in the global community that create stress, that create tension, and that really can create unintended or unexpected consequences for us. So prepping is your way to kind of shield your family from those things. If gas prices go crazy, you don't have to worry because you have supplies that are on hand. Prices increase on goods and services, you don't have to worry about it as much if you have prepared in advance because you already have those supplies at home at reasonable rates that hopefully you bought before the market went nuts because of some sort of impact. Those kinds of things are reasons that we just want to be prepared. Do I think that the recent news events in Venezuela are going to truly impact my day-to-day living here in rural Oklahoma? No, probably not. With that being said, I do believe that there can be ripples from those types of events that can be felt pretty much anywhere, regardless of where you live. So prepping isn't about predicting these global events. It's not about necessarily responding to them per se in the moment. It is just about having that sense of security in the background that you go, man, something crazy happened. Thankfully, I don't have to worry quite as much because I know I have the things at home to keep my family safe, to keep them fed, to keep them warm, and keep them clothed in an emergency situation, regardless of what that looks like. The second reason that is near and dear to my heart here in Oklahoma is just weather continues to be a challenge. We have seen that natural disasters across the country are increasing. We have hurricanes that hit more frequently and in places they have historically not hit. We have seen floods this year. We've seen wildfires. We've seen all sorts of unpredictable weather events, both from extreme heat perspective and extreme cold perspective, that just make it important to be a little bit more prepared. Most of us who've been through a weather event, losing power for a couple of days or being hard to get out to the stores because the roads are blocked or something that could be a little bit more significant. Prepping gives you a buffer to those weather-related events because, again, you can stay at home when everyone else has to run out, grab those last-minute supplies at the store for the impending storm. If you are prepared correctly, you don't have to make those last-minute mad dashes for weather emergencies. And honestly, that can be a huge relief both from a time perspective, just from a stress perspective of fighting crowds. So being prepared for those weather emergencies probably is never going to be something that we don't have to think about. So quick question for you before we dive in any further. What is the one reason that you started preparing? What is the one thing that motivated you on this journey or at least made made you click on this video and say, hey, why should I be prepared in 2026? I would love to know. Drop a comment below. The third one is something that maybe you haven't thought about quite as much unless it has truly impacted you, and that is just the impact of cybersecurity or malware type attacks. So when I worked at NORAD and U.S. Northern Command, I was in charge of the Joint Cyber Center, and I was read into all sorts of things about the fragile nature of a kind of our infrastructure from a tech perspective. And that is not said to make you panic or worried. It is just said that those cyber attacks are going to continue. We know it is a tool that our adversaries use. We know that people use it for financial gain. Even last year, we saw tech failures that were basically due to malware attacks. We saw things where supply chains were disrupted because of these things, ransomware attacks where people are basically held captive and have to pay money to get their systems up and running. Continue to be a player in today's world because we are so connected, because everything does run across computer systems and in the cloud and all of those types of things. And so cybersecurity disruption is something that we do have to be aware of. And honestly, I think that it's going to continue to become more and more of a challenge as we move forward. It's going to continue to be a challenge as we continue to stay connected on a global scale from a computer perspective. Networks are fragile and they are vulnerable to attack. And so I think that is a good reason to also be prepared to have copies of documents offline so that if you can't get online to go to your bank, you at least know where you have money. It's why we store cash at home, so that if I can't go to the ATM and withdraw cash immediately, I have a buffer. There are things that we have to think about from a cyber perspective that, quite frankly, honestly, are the things that keep me up at night. If I was going to pick the one thing from a prepping scenario that made me nervous, it is those cyber types of attacks. They are very targeted to a specific system. So again, day to day, you might not feel that, but it is something that we need to continue to monitor and be ready to prepare to respond to if that happens to anything that affects us personally. The fourth reason I think that we should still be preparing in 2026 is all about money and resiliency and finances. I don't know about you, but where I live, prices continue to rise. Tariffs have been an issue. Supply chain disruptions have been an issue. Things cost more now than they did 5 years ago or a year ago or 2 years ago. One of the things that I think we don't talk about enough in the prepping community is, in some ways, prepping is a hedge against inflation. Anything that you buy today that continues to increase in price over the next 6 months or a year has really saved you money in terms of using it to keep your family clothed, fed, etc. All the supplies that we are buying in some ways are a financial protection piece for us and our family. That could also include things like job losses or disruptions to your financial system. But really, financial resilience is built in prepping because we are storing supplies at today's dollar, which in theory probably will not be worth as much as it is kind of moving forward. And again, I don't think we talk about that much in the prepping community. It's sort of like not something that comes up in normal prepping conversation. But again, it is a hedge against inflation. So buy your supplies now, buy them in bulk, get good discounts, wait for coupons, and then you're not going to have to go out and panic buy when things are at their absolute highest prices in emergency situations, or just 6 months or a year from now when, again, maybe global tensions or things rise or something happens where prices increase more than we would expect them to. Very closely leads me into reason number 5 that you should be preparing, and that is just simply life disruptions. So let's look at it from a financial perspective. Maybe somebody in your family loses a job or has to reduce their hours and your income is impacted. Maybe somebody has a medical emergency that obviously you did not have kind of planned for. All of those things can impact your ability to generate income, to kind of live your normal day-to-day life. And prepping, again, just acts as a barrier to that. Think of it as a bonus type of insurance for you and your family that allows you to continue living in a way that is normal for you, even if things maybe on the outside are a little chaotic. That lifestyle disruption is something, again, that I would say we don't talk about much in prepping. A lot of times we're focused on those external events that can happen from a weather perspective or a cyber perspective or a global war perspective. And we don't think about the fact that, hey, I might get sick and not be able to work. I might, again, have some sort of financial setback that I wasn't expecting. It could be a huge bill. It could be something that, again, you're just not expecting. Prepping allows you, again, to kind of get ahead of those things so that when those things happen, you are prepared to respond. We are not just responding to those weather disasters or things like that. We are responding to any sort of disruption in our day-to-day life. And that leads me to the most important one, number 6, which is prepping really allows us to just have a sense of resilience, a sense of peace, a sense of calm. I think that as my husband and I have gotten more and more prepared, it takes more significant events to make us go, gosh, should I be worried about that? I can honestly say in the last year, there's only been 1 or 2 things that have made me pause and ask myself, ooh, am I ready for that? Now, it doesn't mean that I can survive every disaster. It doesn't mean that I'm completely done prepping. I don't mean that. But what I will say is I don't have to worry about all of the same things I had to worry about 6 years ago when I got into this journey, because I do have supplies ready. I do have skills that I've built. I do have training for things. So it has allowed me to kind of build up that resilience so that when I get those panic phone calls in the morning from family, I can take that calm breath and I can say, hey, let's just think about this, how it's going. Let's talk through some of the scenarios. Let's talk about one or two things you could do to make yourself feel more confident going into global uncertainties, going into some of these challenges. I think that one, more probably than almost anything else, is why I think prepping makes sense. Like, it's not about the doom and gloom. It's not about worst case scenarios. It's not about surviving the zombies or the apocalypse. It is truly about giving you that sense of control, that sense of comfort, that sense of independence, that, hey, I know I can take care of my family and survive for some amount of time without outside help. That is liberating, and that is exciting. And that is why I am still passionate about prepping 6 years in. It's not because I am really excited about stockpiling additional cans of beans. It is because I know that I have given myself that margin in my life to not be concerned about stuff. Those are the 6 reasons I absolutely think you should be preparing in 2026. And here's what I would just say. If you haven't started, that is okay. We are here to kind of take baby steps. We're here to start on our journey regardless of where we are. And if you're more advanced and some of these things are really not exciting to you, that's okay too. Hopefully that means that you have that resilience built in and that you are ready for whatever life throws at you. Until next time, let's be prepared, not scared.